Welcome then, everyone. Welcome to the Challenge Aftershow, Episode 1, The List. This is for Spies, Lies, and Allies Challenge Season 37. I'm here with Pam, and oh my God, Pam, that first episode was a blast. It was literally on fire.
It was on fire. It was so good. And there were so many twists and turns. It was back to Dirty 30, the next one of that Edge of Your Seat show again, which was really great. A bon voyage goals. I couldn't be happier to see that go. I like that at least for Spies and Lies, they made it like techie this time, that they're voting in a thing. And I don't know if people can see the votes. I know they did it privately last time, but this is like, I don't know. I think it was a little more impactful for me. This episode was on fire.
It was, literally. So you guys want to stay tuned because we're going to choose our predictions for who we think is going to win. We're probably just going to choose a couple males, a couple females, whoever we think has a chance, because like we found out tonight, these teams are not staying the whole season. It's going to get mixed up like crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing we want to talk about is that we're doing a lot of episodes on Patreon as well. It's not going to have, it's going to be bonus features either of 37 or just stuff that we like that's going on in the world of the challenge.
Right. All challenge related content could be like tonight we'll tease, if you want to see our Patreon that we will be doing right after this, that will be going over the cast and our predictions and feelings for All Stars Season 2.
Yeah,
so
we're going to talk about
this
that.
Next Patreon will be. And then, yeah, we'll give you bonus content every week. Could be interviews, could be quizzes, play along. Sky's the limit.
Right. And you can find all that at the Challenge After Show on Patreon. As simple as that. Well, Pam, we were kind of right. It was one of our guesses. They have to race to get to their partners. And first is the best at this point. You get to choose whoever you want. And that's why they gave them the pamphlets.
Sure. I did feel like the pamphlets were a sort of unnecessary step. I mean, unless you really did study it, but it didn't look like anyone did.
Well, they didn't do their research on who was on the show yet. Maybe they weren't given a breakdown of who's on the show. So at least that gave them options of, all right, I want to maybe target this person, this person, this person.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they do this whole, it starts right off with the first challenge, which I think is great. I really like how they set it up on Monday, so that we can just do the first challenge right off the bat.
Me too. I did feel a little disconnect. I was like, so they never, I guess it's obvious, but it's like, so I wouldn't have minded 3 minutes of, oh, okay, let's study these files and learn who these people are. And then before going into the competition, just because it was like it ended so abruptly with them getting files.
If you didn't watch that Monday show, I really think you're missing out on getting the full knowledge of the show tonight.
Oh, I guess maybe that's why they cut it out, so that this would seem like, okay, and this is how we're starting.
Yeah.
It was, okay, I guess that makes sense to some extent, but whatever.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay.
I don't know who the first team was. I just wrote them all down, so we'll just go through them.
Go through it in your order.
I know that we know that the teams have changed at the end of this episode, everybody watching this right now, but we're just going to talk about the original teams and how we felt about each one.
Yes.
Yes. I have down here Emmanuel and Casey. I think that could be pretty good.
They came in 5th in this.
I got him as 4th, but close enough.
4th or 5th, because I didn't have Tori as anything, but she was there hugging Anissa before Casey.
They skipped one. They didn't give us all. They gave us 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they skipped to like
4.
I have Emmanuel and Casey.
Then Tori and Kels were 5th.
Tori and Kels were 3rd.
Wait, who was 5th? Who was 5th?
They skipped over 5. They went right to 6. It was Esther and Fessy. They didn't tell us who 5th was. They also didn't tell us who 7th was. They skipped to 8, which was Amanda and Kyle. So whatever. But
Emmanuel and Casey, I see big things in their future. He is interesting and fun to watch and seems smart for picking Casey. He did his research, and Casey's great. So I think they're a couple of ones to watch for sure.
Gabo is with Nani, and Gabo picked Nani because he wants a cute face.
Yeah.
And little does he know, Nani's probably not going to be interested in him because she's in love with Casey. So that's great too.
Also, Gabo, I think our questions that we had from last week about Gabo, is he putting it on as comic relief or is he dumb, have been answered. He dumb.
He doesn't, well, not only does he not know the show, but he's not from the United States. So the culture is just different. And maybe he is just in general. He might just be dumb too.
You're right. He's just dumb. He's like, yeah, well, I mean, like everything he said I was like, oh, okay, he's genuinely dumb.
He's genuinely dumb, which disappoints me because he's not putting it on for a show. I can laugh at him a little bit just because he's dumb, but I'm not getting like, oh, he's secretly, going to be.
I mean, he's got some charm. I like that he, admits to his popcorn muscles, but he definitely.
That's good. So that was good. And also Nani says, he goes, I think you're really hot. And she goes, yeah, I'll just be your partner. So that was great too. That was funny.
There were some good moments. And he does, again, genuinely seem dumb and like he wanted to be on a beach show. Like he had no idea what he was going to be on.
What's he from? Warsaw Shore? Is he the one from Warsaw Shore?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have 3 pages of notes, by the way. That's insane for this.
I've got more than usual too.
All right. Nelson and Priscilla, we didn't see much from them.
Nelson and Priscilla, they didn't perform very well. Like you would think Nelson would know that those numbers that they smashed meant something. But
I wrote down Nelson's yelling at a safe. He's like, come on. I'm like, dude, safe doesn't care if you can get it open or not. It's just there. Yeah. So that was funny. That made me laugh. Bettina and Corey, OG Corey, I guess we can call him OG Corey.
Oh, is it? Okay, Bettina and Corey.
I got Bettina. I got her. That's the one with the funny laugh, I believe.
Yep. You're right. Yep. And
I don't know. I still the word's out on Bettina. I don't know if she's a good competitor. I have no idea.
She did well. Like I believe she was first in the charge. She was looking for Corey right off the bat. Priscilla and Bettina were both looking for Corey. I mean, not that Corey's not good, but yeah, she was like, isn't it funny
that Priscilla chose Corey's
Nelson after
second man, I guess, in a way, because he is like, to me, it is Corey, then followed by Nelson,
Sure, for sure.
Yeah. Amanda tells Kyle to come to the dark side. That was kind of fun. All right. I don't know what I'm thinking about them yet.
I'm excited. Good. I think Kyle might be just the partner Amanda needs that doesn't take anything seriously, but still does want to win.
Yeah.
But like won't get flustered and irritated by her BS.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure she'll have some BS. And Kyle made Amanda carry the freaking safe.
That was funny.
I was like, what is he doing? Like, why is it poor Amanda carrying the safe?
I don't know. Then we have Huey and Ashley, who we saw have a downfall today. My conspiracy with them losing was that if it was someone that didn't have the history with the challenge like Ashley, that maybe TJ would have said, we just purged your ass and you're going home. So my conspiracy is producers were waiting to see who got last place to see if they were going to purge or just give a fun warning to, because I knew right away Ashley was in more of the season.
I did not, which is...
But you knew she was in more of the season because we saw her and Nelson talk at a club later on.
No, but they showed them kissing and hugging and making out tonight. So I was like, maybe that's that. I didn't know. I think her and Huey will be able to perform fine if they can get it together. Like if he does talk a lot.
Ashley likes like men that can kind of like take control and do their part. She doesn't want someone like, I mean, even a Hunter. She didn't like Hunter. He's a talker as well. So I don't. It's we'll see. Anissa and Logan first place.
Logan. He was early, one of the first people to pick.
I think he was one of the top people to get there. Yes.
And I was surprised that he picked Anissa because he seems like he knows the show, but also happy. I mean, and they won. So again, it's a strategic move on his part because Anissa's good at challenge. Like she's not good at a final.
Right. And I think it's important to also recognize that I don't think that Logan was watching this show from day one. He's been watching probably the last 2 seasons where everybody and their mother has been kissing the ass of Anissa, including the producers, including the Aftershow where they gave her a friggin' tribute. So if Logan sees all this, he's like, Anise is the girl I need to be with. They don't mention that she's never won a final that much. You know, I'm just.
Why aren't you picking Tori at that point too? Because MTV loves her. She's got the platform, and she's a champion. So why don't you pick Tori at that point?
We'll get Logan. I'll have to get Logan on the show and ask him.
Okay,
yes,
we'll get Logan on the show. Patreon.
And I got this next group, couple, partners, whatever, I think is very interesting because I got a little bit of tea given to us in our comment section from Monday. I had mentioned that there was a girl with black hair that you didn't get to see much, but this isn't who I'm talking about. There's another girl with blonder hair who the producers have decided to give the D treatment to and basically try to cut out of the show. And she's Lauren, and she's partners with Josh. And apparently Lauren, the producers didn't like Lauren for some reason. And please, in the comment section, tell us why the producers hate Lauren. What did Lauren do? Now, Lauren, Pam, is from.
Have that partner. This is how much that.
It's okay. Listen, Pam, you're going to love this. Lauren is from a show that we both watched. Okay. Love Island, US, with Jeremiah, Las Vegas during the pandemic.
Oh, who is she?
Lauren came in hot and heavy, sexy, perfect body to the world's view, you know, what a perfect body is. And she got eliminated like 3 days later. She couldn't find a match. That super sexy one. And apparently she faked her accent. She had like a European accent, but she's really from Florida. That's that girl.
Okay. Well, how did they do in this? Do we remember how
they decided to write Lauren out of the show? So we have no idea where they placed or anything. I don't know what's going to happen with her. I don't know how long her and Josh last in the show, but basically they're trying to keep her. I saw her working out for 1 second in these pink hot pants. She looked great, but it's a quick clip. Please tell us in the comments below if you also saw that quick shot, because I saw it was like that though. Because now I'm looking for it, and I think everyone at home will look for it too.
I'll look for it next week. I didn't even like. I have all the teams written down, and Lauren and Josh. I was like, oh right.
This episode is one of the heaviest episodes I've had to take notes on. There's so much great stuff to talk about, and you know what, Pam? Thank God there is. It's finally good. At least the first episode.
The first episode was really good. For 37.
I know. Well, they're one for one. They're 1 and 1.
They're 1 for 1 for sure.
They did great. Okay, so let's move on. My girl Esther, who I really liked in that preview show, she's with Fessy. So now I'm like, oh God, do I even root for this girl now? But hopefully she gets away from him. Maybe she even complained like, why did I choose Fessy? He's a hot mess or whatever she said about him. So Esther's the Nigerian.
Yes,
from Big Brother. I don't know what she's from.
I don't remember, but she was.
I have 20 pages of notes over here. I'm too late. Yeah, whatever. Okay. So they're together. I think they could be really good. Is my point, though. Fessy and Esther.
No? Yes, I agree. They're up there.
Renan and Michaela, who we kind of know their fate, but go on, Pam. Yes.
At this point in the show,
yes,
I am Team Renan and Michaela.
Oh boy.
3 hearts next to them. Michaela is my favorite so far. Everything she says is so funny. I love her interviews. I love her commentary. She's hilarious. I didn't register Renan from the last one, but they came in second for this.
And it's very interesting you say that about Renan, because Renan is a big fat dud. And it sucks that Michaela had to get stuck with him. He's a dud.
It sucks. It sucks because she would have won if she had a stronger partner.
We don't know that. But, you mean this, in that elimination? Yes. I thought you meant overall. Yeah, okay.
So also, spoiler alert, if you're watching this or listening to this and you haven't seen the show yet, things happen later on that we're going to spoil while we're talking about it in chronological order. So
correct.
Watch the show first.
And the more and more I heard from Renan, the more and more I was like, God, this guy is not challenge material as far as what I'm. So I know he only got 1 episode, but whatever. All right, Corey L.
I can't believe it. I thought they were like gonna be at this point in my predictions, they'd be finalists.
But Pam, I recognized right away that there was only 3 groups, 3 partnerships of both rookies, and I thought these guys right away. And I'll tell you my moment that I knew they were on the chopping block, but we'll get into that in a little bit.
Okay.
Corey L, who is awesome now, loving this guy, and Emmy, who you love, blue hair from Monday, they are originally partnered up.
Yes.
And I was thinking these guys could have something here, these two.
I do too. I have hearts next to my favorite ones that I thought were gonna take it home.
A
I
little
thought
behind the scenes
have
for y'all at
something.
home. Look at that. Look at that behind the scenes note in a notebook there. That's good.
Yeah, I thought they were a strong team, and I love them. I love him, and I love her,
Yeah.
and they both seem like they'll be good competitors.
Yeah. On to my what I consider my number one team from the start together. I thought Berna and CT. I thought
Yep.
these two. Wow.
Agreed.
CT had no idea who she was, and then I think he was quite satisfied when he figured out that she was a circus performer and that she's athletic and has endurance and probably have to do those things. So I like this team a lot. I don't know how long they'll stay together, but I really don't see them losing early on at all. And
No, I mean, knock on wood, unless
well, CT always seems to find a way, except for that time against Jay, to last very long in these games. So
well, he's a super champ. I mean, people would be dumb to. I'd
and
rather
even,
partner with him than get him eliminated at the beginning.
and I've gone back and I just keep watching old seasons of the challenge, and CT was impossible to beat then, and he's just become even more knowledgeable on all the puzzles now. I'm just like, this dude, he's just changed his game so much perfectly on the way. Like he's like, I'm not as strong anymore. I'm gonna get good at puzzles. Like and he's always been good at puzzles. Now
And social game though, now he really is Papa CT. He's embraced that role as the OG champ, and he's really good at everything. So it's like it's hard not to respect him.
Another team I was pumped about, which is I can't be pumped about anymore, but it's Nam and Michelle.
Yes, I was so happy for Nam to have a strong competitor to play with that at a good social game, because she's won, she's obviously good. She won Survivor. She can handle pressure.
I know.
I was so happy for him.
This team is going to be fun.
I thought they were one.
We all liked Nam so much last season. We were hoping for big things for him this season, and it's just off the wagon. But you know what? We'll get into it.
Yeah.
Kels and Tori.
Yep. Now, another great team that I saw good things for.
Solid team. Can I ask you this?
Well, sure.
We saw Tori dancing with Emmanuel in a scene. Yeah. Was she also kissing Kels in a scene, or who is she kissing?
I don't know. I try not to, because that really, I already knew. Well, I don't want to spoil our own spoil discussion, but we saw Michelle in many future scenes.
I know.
That's why I hate trailers and previews, because already this elimination was blown for me.
I know, but for me, it's like if MTV, the TV show, the network, if they're on after their show, they're showing us certain things, they don't want to ruin everything. So I feel like those are okay to watch for me personally, because yes, they give me stuff that I'm going to want to look forward to watching. And I like that, but I understand where you're coming from as well.
Yeah, I'm saying I don't want to see someone that is going to be in a right away elimination in all the future cuts.
And I think a lot of our viewers are more Team Pam with that than Team Dan. But tell us in the comments below if you like the teasers that MTV does. Are you Team Dan with the teasers or Team Pam with the teasers? We want to know.
Yeah, Team Pam. Team Pam. Whoop, whoop.
I'm going to have one Team Dan, and it's going to be me. Great.
Yay, Team Dan. Okay.
Taka and Jeremiah.
Yes. I don't know. I think they probably came in somewhere in the middle.
I have no idea. They didn't give us the full list.
I don't know anything about them.
Jury's out. I think the jury's still out. They're trying to decide what's going to go on. They don't even know who they're going for here.
I do like Tasha, because she was like, I would roll with Michaela. Michaela at this point in the show is my favorite. I think a super winner.
So you like her based on the fact that she liked Michaela so much. That's kind of a good. I like that. That's fun.
I mean, it is. She was like, I'd love to roll with her. She's great, and I thought that was great.
Yeah. Big T and Tommy. I think you might be liking this one a little bit.
Yes,
love Big T, and you like
Tommy, the Survivor guy.
Yeah, Tommy's the redheaded Survivor guy.
Stupid Survivor guy. He seems like a real snake. Like, I think obviously he's moderately skilled, so I'm glad, but he seems like a real weasel to me.
You're getting more of a weasel vibe. I think it's gonna. I think anyone on the show could turn into a weasel if they had to. I mean, he had his back up against the wall there.
He did not. He didn't have to try to win at all.
We'll get into it, but there was 4 people supposedly surrounding that list. I understand one girl made it, Michaela, but the other 3 were around there kind of discussing it, and he was one of them, as I recall. So we'll get into that. The list, which I'll tell you, Mike. I don't know if it's conspiracy, but my thoughts on her, I don't think it's as hyped as it was, but whatever.
I don't.
We're almost done here. I was very disappointed when this happened. Devin and Tracy. Not that I have anything against Tracy. I just have no idea.
Who's Tracy?
Tracy was someone that barely has said anything. I'm trying to go find my notes of who the heck she is.
I don't remember.
I think she's from a dating show. I have no idea.
But that becomes another one where I liked that she.
Oh, wait. Tracy is the girl with the black hair. The one I said they didn't introduce last week. So that's why I don't know who she is. Remember?
Oh.
So they didn't mention two rookies last week. One was the black hair who I mentioned. The other is this girl, Lauren, who the producers hate. And they didn't mention it on purpose because they're trying to keep her out of the show.
Well, now that Devin is not partnered with Tracy anymore, she might as well just go home next week. I mean,
she is now partnered with someone else, Kells. She's partnered with
Oh.
And that's, see, now she might want to stay because Kells, or she could stay. Kells, I think is.
I'm so confused.
Kells could be a beast. Kells could be a beast. I wrote them all down. I got you.
Oh, I think Kells is going to be one to be, but Tracy, I don't remember her.
She's got black hair.
I know. I don't remember her at all, but okay.
I'll just keep saying it there. She's got black hair. How do you not know?
It's not making me remember.
It's fine. It doesn't. It's too early on. You don't have to have everyone memorize.
Tracy. Yeah, I don't know.
And I want to say that's everybody. Yeah.
Huey and Ashley. Oh, we talked about them.
I did
you're
good.
Right. You're right. You're perfect.
So that's everyone. We have the first challenge. Any thoughts on? Let's just talk about the first challenge. Now that we know our teams and who was doing, we talked a little bit about it and what happened. Nelson got mad. Ashley got mad. Thoughts? Anything? I mean, I put my conspiracy down about how I think if someone else was in last place, maybe they could have purged them if they didn't care about it. Like, let's say Renan and Michaela, or another rookie class that we don't care about or know anything about. Maybe they could have got purged. But Ashley, they know she's obsessed, or sorry, not obsessed, dating or hooking up, good best friends, hookup friends, whatever, with Nelson. They don't want to get rid of her. That's a good storyline. They don't want to lose yet. Boom, we'll just give you a warning. Now, that's something that Jenna's going to complain about too. I don't blame Jenna. She'd say, "Boo, big teaser to commercial," and then they gave us nothing for it. I'm going to say, I'm getting so mad now. If you're going to be TJ and you're going to say you're done, they should be done.
Done with losing. It's like, come on, buddy.
Lame.
Also, though, on the flip side,
yeah.
It's funny because Ashley, who is a 2-time champion, is also a 2 or 3. This would make time going home first. She is really hit or miss.
I thought of it too. I said, you shouldn't have stole that money from Hunter. This is what happens. Yep. Oh, by the way, got some more comments in our comment section. I want people to know that we do read them because I want them to keep writing. Someone let me know, because it was my fault. I apparently said that Jeremiah put his hands on the knees or legs. Apparently, those were his own legs. He's just that tall.
I was like, he was rubbing up and down. That's why we were like, oh my God, that's funny.
He was just keeping himself warm, Pam, not the girls.
That is so funny because, again, I guess if you just show that and like, it did look like he's rubbing their legs, but that would make sense that he's very tall.
I think other people,
hands rubbing.
And I think other people probably thought that as well. We just said it out loud, and then they went either they went back and watched it, or for some reason they had these magical eyes where they could tell. But I guess it's my different colored eyes, and I can't tell when someone's not rubbing someone's legs.
Because you're a mutant.
Apparently, I'm an X-Men man. X-Man. No, X-Men. I'm an X-Men. X-Men. Right. Yeah. All right. They're going for $1 million again, Pam. And I ask you the question, will it ever be more than $1 million? Because that's the first thought that went into my head. I don't think they can do it. What are they going to do? Oh, it's $1.25 now. Like, what are they going to add to it,
Yeah, I agree.
They can't say $2 million. Maybe if they do teams again, Pam, and they do teams of like 6 and say, here's $2 million to split amongst 6 people, then they could do it. How can they give someone $2 million? That's insane to me. Whatever.
This is what they could do.
Okay.
That would make it more than $1 million.
Yeah.
Go back to the bank. When you win, it's like you're adding X amount to your bank. You can take from someone, give to someone. Because as far as I remember, the ultimate prize was the same, but individually you're still upping the stakes. You can take home an extra, $10,000 to $50,000 if you're winning.
But like, oh my God, like $2 million, like it just
that's too much.
The show's it's already too much at $1 million. Come on, they're getting paid a weekly paycheck. Yeah. I mean, give me a break here. Yeah, so it's kind of the same setup as last season with, in some way, the agency are the winners, which is Logan and Anissa, and they get to guarantee pick someone to go in. But what we don't know is the twist later, which will tell you the twist. So we'll say right now, Logan and Anissa, they will get to pick a man and a female to go into that elimination. Do we want to say the twist now?
No, let's save it.
We're saving the twist, even though whoever's watching this probably already knows the twist.
Sure.
And then the house gets to go into nominations, and the house gets to pick the other team. That, I believe, is almost spot on, exactly the same as last season. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except for the twist. Yep.
Yeah. And then we get back into the house now. Well, I'll say one more thing. I do like that they got to race to pick partners. I thought it was a fun way because the producers realized these partners aren't staying the same. We didn't know it at the time, but the producer said, who cares who gets with who? It's going to be interesting. It'll be luck of the draw, and they have to earn it in a way. They have to win that race out, and they just have to get to that person first. I thought that was fun. But producers also realized, let's be honest, it's going to change throughout the season. It really doesn't matter. Just like last season when Corey had like 12 different girl partners or whatever it was, and yeah, so it's going to be very interesting. Would you want to get to the house stuff, or do you have anything else to say about the actual challenge of the day?
No.
Okay. House. Okay. The first thing we see in this house, Pam, and I wrote it down. I'll read you word for word what I wrote. I wrote down this: Brennan and Michaela talk. Obviously, first group in. So obvious. That's what I wrote down. I didn't know how it was going to get there, but that's word for word what I wrote down before I knew anything else was going to happen. And I picked them to go in.
That is very smart.
Producers do this to us. They like to get, like, they knew they needed some type of storyline, and this was the only storyline they were going to get. And they gave us. They were the first people to see in the house. I'm sorry. Go on. I
believe that other people felt the same. Okay. Well, I'll save this until we discuss the list. Brennan and Michaela, I think by coming in second and being rookies, were already a huge target. But I did not at this point think they were. I was thinking these she was going to go to the finals.
Wow. I mean, that's a big pull there. And she's the one that didn't win Survivor, which is funny too. But still, it doesn't. I mean, whatever. I didn't watch I don't know how early she got eliminated, Pam. She might have made it far. Tell us in the comments below how far Michaela made it.
I don't know.
And if you thought that she had the ability to win the whole thing. Team Pam.
I just liked her. Yeah, Team Pam.
I know. You just like her so much. You like her so much. You really were rooting for her.
I know. I was rooting
for her.
This must
have been like, even though you love the episode, this must have been kind of a hard ending for you. Huh?
Maybe we'll try and interview her for a Patreon.
Well, yeah. I mean, she's not on the show right now. Not that they're filming anymore, but yeah.
She can say what she thinks.
Then Ashley and Gabo, they make up. Stop me when you want to talk about anything. Gabo and Nani, they talk, and this is where he mentions that he has popcorn muscles, and she says that she's, I'm not into you, obviously. And then we have Logan and Anissa talking. Now that they won first place, they have a little conversation in there. Anything about that? I mean, it was all just these are those like vignettes, I like to call them. Let's throw a bunch of vignettes and just that's all that happened. The next thing we get is Berna and CT. CT seems pleasantly surprised about the Berna thing, which we mentioned. I love that. And then Tori and Kels are playing pool and they're being flirty, and I like it. And I feel like she seems interested, but I think, as we've mentioned about Tori, Pam, she's got her eyes on multiple guys.
Yes.
That rhymes, and I like it.
She does.
And then we've got the whole thing about the veterans. Now, this is big. The veterans say that they're going to do a truce, and they're only going to basically try to put in rookies. And, there's only, at this point in time, there's only 3 fully rookie teams that they can really go through before having to affect some of those veterans. So I was like, oh, how's this all going to work? But then we figure out later what really happens with the twist. And then we see at the pool that the rookies are basically doing the same thing. Like, oh, what are my strengths? All this stuff. And like, let's go after the veterans possibly, So basically, are we getting the rookie and veteran thing to start? Yes. But that twist coming up is going to change everything. And I can't wait to chat about it. Now it's time to hook up. You ready for hookups?
Yeah.
They have a birthday party celebration for Logan and Michelle.
Yep,
And
cute.
yeah, and Devin is trying to be the new Bananas hammock, is what I wrote there.
Yep.
With the
But
hammock.
yep.
Yeah, but I'm Jim. Awful Dad Jokes, sponsored by Dan every week here on the Challenge After Show.
Mhm.
Emmanuel loves Michelle. That rhymes as well. So did that. And that's going to be fun to see him try to maneuver his way in there. He says he falls in love so easily. But don't we also see him dancing with Tori at some point? So maybe he falls in love with her too. I feel like the producers are getting it right. Let's set up a bunch of different people that might hook up or might not, and we'll let you guys watch the rest. They nailed it. They nailed this whole scene. Is awesome.
They did. And I am here for Ashley and Nellie, and I'm sorry, they look like they're in love. Like their smiles and they're looking in each other's eyes are not, they're like so happy.
I think Ashley is more into him than she's leading on. And as we know, Nelson's definitely into her more than he's leading on. And he likes her so much, Pam, he can't hold back. And he's going to tell us about it later in the season.
And I hope she reciprocates those feelings because I like that couple.
Yeah.
They might be just the right complementary personalities. Like she's tough and controlling and he's sweet and loyal. Like it might balance each other out.
And they also both are neighbors in Austin, Texas now, because everyone's moving to Austin. Austin's the place to be. I keep being told I should move to Austin. Really? So that's also a pro to their relationship working out, Pam, because they live close. Isn't it crazy that we get to actually have a whole 20-minute talk right now about actual hookups and conversations about not just strategy and who's going to win stuff? We get to have this is like the best.
It's so fun.
Danny Drama is back after 2 seasons. I'm back, baby.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep this fun love train going.
Okay.
Nani talks to Kyle, and she cares a lot about Casey, and they even show them kissing a little.
Oh, okay. I was like, Nani talking to Kyle. I mean, yes, I remember now, but I just was like, Nani and Casey, yay.
Yeah. So that's going to be cute to see throughout the season.
So
they're already kissing a little bit. I was hoping for more of a wait on the kiss, but that's okay. I want them to be my love relationship of the season, not just my hookup like we're about to see.
It might be. It still seems like early days.
I know, but it was only a peck. You're right. There was just a cute little peck. And Amanda with Fessy. That's another one.
Amanda.
We are introduced to so many fantastic possible hookups, relationships, whatever.
I have a question for you about that one.
Yeah, go on.
Do you believe Fessy? He was like, from the first time I ever saw you, I knew, if anyone's the girl for me, it's you. Like, what a load of crap.
I was just about to say that out loud. He basically said, if I ever appear on a challenge with you, I don't know why this is his voice, by the way. I'd go right after you.
Right, like again, he's got no game.
Pam, you nailed it, because that was him trying to have game. Did he really feel that way in real life? Probably not. But he's with her right now, and she looks like she wants to make out. So he's gonna say whatever he has to say, because guys say whatever they have to say.
Also, though, it's like Fessy, it's a done deal because you're hot. Like you don't have to woo her. She thinks you're cute. She's not. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
and it's funny what she said. Like, hey, I'm gonna kiss you so you stop talking because your game is awful. So Amanda puts a stamp on it and says, yes, game or bad game? Bad game. She stamped it.
Right. Shut up. Yeah.
Amanda knows. Amanda knows.
No lame game. Right. No lame game. Yeah. It's funny because was Amanda's last season with Zach?
When they would fight all the time?
Yes.
I believe so.
It's funny that in the off seasons, I've gone from like, Amanda, to now that it's been so dull the past seasons. So team Amanda for her drama, for her personality, for her. Yeah. Like I'm sick of just like, I'm an athlete. I'm here to compete. Like, no, give me Amanda.
I know we'll never be able to confirm this, but I feel deep down in my heart that the producer sat down after last season and said, we need to change some things around. This isn't working anymore.
We need to listen to Dan.
What's that?
We need to listen to Dan.
Yeah. And they already had set it up for another season of Agents. before they could have that sit down and have that meeting. They said, okay, we can't change the agent thing now. We already showed like TJ being a handler again. Remember that little preview they showed of him looking into a television screen? So
Oh yes.
let's have that be the concept, but everything around it needs to be hooking up. Love Island, X on the Beach style, the old school real world where they didn't have a job and they just sat in a house all day wondering, when am I going to hook up again and go out and party?
In a sick house with parties every night where it's like party, not in a freaking igloo or not in a whatever.
No,
like
let's party in the house. Yes.
Yeah. Party in their house. Hookups will happen. You
Their
know,
house, they should be as close to possible
a bed.
to beds. Yes, you nailed it out of my mouth.
It's true. They should be keep the alcohol flowing, keep them close to a bed or a dark corner of the pool.
Pool. Yes. Pam, we are so on the same wavelength.
Really are. That's why when you were just going over things, I was going, because I agree with everything you said.
Yeah.
All
right. Any last minute? This is has been our hookup corner of the evening. Anything else for our hookup corner?
I'm just excited to see what may come.
I know. There's so many good storylines about to unfold, and it's great.
And what I want to see though, and I don't think we're going to get to, because as of now, I don't know where we stand. Please let us know in the comments. I know CT was divorced, getting divorced, not divorced.
I think they're back together.
He was wearing a wedding ring. Yeah. I would love CT to be in the game because, man, that would be fun.
Yeah, I do think he is back together.
Kyle, like I wish Kyle got to have because he's a hot commodity too.
It's very true. It's true. Kyle and CT single could be fun, but we have plenty of others at least.
Yes, we do.
At least it's not a whole house full of CT and Kyles.
Exactly.
Our fight of the evening, if you can call it a fight, is between Fessy and Nelson. And Fessy tries apologizing. Nelson says, "I'm not angry, I'm hurt." So that was emotional, so emotional for Nelson. And I hope that Fessy owns up to what he said to Nelson. He said, "If I could make it up to you, I would." So this season, I will be looking for Fessy to either take one for the team, aka the team being Nelson, and we'll see if it happens. Because until it happens, Nelson should still be pissed at this guy.
We know Nelson has a true blue heart with a code of conduct for where you land in that. And he also said, I might get over it and be friends with him. We might be cool. We might work together. We might be friends, but he's not a brother anymore. Like, it's done. And
how good was it when he said, "You didn't even win, bro. You didn't even win." I was like, it's true. You took me out and you couldn't even win.
Right. All you got out of it was a ruined friendship by doing that.
Right. I mean, Nelson's killing him in the conversation here. I mean, there's no comeback. He has no. Nelson's the only comeback Fessy had was I owe you one, and we'll see if he even does that. I don't really.
Also, just to bag on Fessy while we're on it, this is the reason why I was like, oh my God, it's such a load of crap what he's saying to Amanda, because Tori and his previous girlfriend are very like both of long blonde hair. Like I'm like, is Amanda secretly your type and you've just been conveniently dating these blondes? Like, not to say that people can't have types or can have lots of different people that they're attracted to, of course, but just based on his past two relationships, it's like, oh, but Amanda was like the one you had stars in your eyes over.
Yeah, I mean, unless he's going out, he's just really into moms now. I don't know.
She does look good this season. Usually, I think she's silly looking. She looks pretty.
Wait, Amanda. Who looks silly to you?
Amanda, I usually find silly looking, but she looks good this season.
Yeah, and they showed her at like being a nurse too, like during the pandemic. They showed a shot of her. I was like, she looks cute.
She does. She does.
I think she has. I think she has a lot of freckles, and I think natural freckles. Don't cover those up with makeup. Let them pop. Let them like.
I don't know. Maybe it was being in the sun, but there was some season where I was like, oof, that face is rough. It was hard to look at.
What's that?
I was saying it's hard to look at. Like, I have freckles too, and in the sun they're like bigger and bolder.
Yeah.
And like hers are already all over her face, so I'm not trying I'm literally not trying to, but there was a season where I was like, like,
maybe too much bronzer. I don't know. Who knows? But
or
yeah.
too much something.
But you know
I
what?
don't know. But she looks
She's
good
looking
right now.
great now. Right. She's looking great now. So there you go. Okay. Let's get to nominations.
Okay.
But right before the nominations, we get this whole thing with the list, Pam.
Okay.
Okay. So I wrote down, I believe these are the people that were surrounding the list. It's Michaela, your girl, Tommy, Michelle, and Renan. And I think the first three were Survivor, and I don't know what Renan's from, some other show, but since he's partners with Michaela, he was there because I think they were all going to try to team up, Pam.
Okay.
And the list happens, and apparently Michaela wrote the list. The other three were just looking at the list. Now, even without this list, I still think that those two are on the chopping block. For what you said earlier, they got second place. And now I feel like conspiracy, this is just an easy excuse to vote them in as the house, because not only are they rookies, but they got second place and they're bringing drama with the list. But the list, I think, is third in line and not really that. It's an excuse.
I'm with you.
Give them in, like, just throw them in. There's drama with the list. Whatever. She wrote down some stuff. It shouldn't have been. Obviously, Emmy found out and it got blasted. But is it that big of a deal that she wrote stuff down? I know everyone else keeps it in their head, but everyone's talking about it. She wrote it down. You never want to have, I guess, physical evidence. So maybe I shouldn't take notes anymore. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on the whole list?
Okay.
Give me your thoughts.
They are. I agree with you. So my thoughts are, okay, I was just figuring out who so the three rookie teams were
I can tell us.
Kayla and Renna, Emmy and Corey L, and Tatcha and Jeremiah.
That is correct. Those are
the three. So I think Emmy, which I think is very smart.
Oh.
I don't think Emmy came to Tori and Anissa out of the goodness of her freaking heart.
No.
And she wanted to take any target off of her. Anissa's the team empowered. Just so happens that the list she spied on is wanting to get rid of her best friend Tori. I think it was probably blown way out of proportion, because I do believe even the trustworthy, that's just her brainstorming. I mean, that's her who would vote with us, who would vote against us, that's just good plain logic. That's not backstabbing or throwing someone under the bus or talking about anyone. That is just the rookies were up. Emmy coming to Tori and Anissa with this news, I think blew it way out of proportion and made it seem like she was gunning after Tori a lot more than what that really was.
And Tommy doesn't help the issue when we get nominations right now. He throws, chucks, tosses, literally holds her in front of a bus and says, Michaela did it. It's all Michaela.
He is
going after Tori.
A snake, because he didn't just go, well, I was there, and I mean, it's whatever.
He got himself from getting hit from the bus, though, as well.
Absolutely.
He had to.
In his best interest to do that, too. Emmy, I thought, had a better approach of I mean, at least it made... I don't know why I don't think she's a snake, but I think he's a snake. But I think he is a snake. Because
I think,
at that point,
how is Emmy? Emmy's a snake, too. She got the focus off her being a rookie.
Strategic. At that point, I feel like she did her work, and Tommy, what he did at that point was smushing the dead body. Like, she was already rolled over.
I know. I wonder, Emmy says she's a spy and she purposely followed him in there. I wonder if she was just wandering around the house and ran into the conversation. We'll never know. But yeah,
I think she was collecting dirt on the other people that might be thrown up against her, so she could do exactly what she did. And kudos, girl. But Tommy, I think, again, it was unnecessary to
so Tommy basically says Michaela made a list to check the numbers to see if the rookies had the numbers to take out a vet like Tori. That's what he basically just blabbed it. So,
but a vet like Tori, not.
He did say he just used her. Yeah, I know. That's what I think. but he literally used Tori's name as if to make it even more of a.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I think he's a snake. He really added. He knew what he was doing.
Because she could say it. I mean, it could be for any bet. I mean, why does it have to be Tori? But he like, let's make it personal and let's make it someone that's popular in the house, and let's make this an easy nomination ceremony, and that's what it ended up being. Anissa and Logan are going to talk now after that whole nomination ceremony, and they want Emmy and Coriel because they're both rookies, and they're like, oh, also because Emmy has beef now with Michaela because she called her out. They say that, but it's just an excuse to get rookies to see what happens in the first elimination.
It's going to be a rookie team, and they both stirred the pot, so why not throw them in?
Yeah,
I liked Anissa's. I really liked Anissa's wisdom in this deliberation, or when at some point she said, I still don't know who to believe. I think it might have been voiceover too. She was like, I don't know what went on in there. It's not personal. Like, I still don't know who to believe, but these are two rookie teams stirring up a pot. So
yeah,
make our life easier. It's not about, personal preference. It's game, and great. Right. XX.
Well, I will say this. Welcome to the lair. I'm Dr. Evil, your host. Don't get deactivated. The layer's up. Oh my goodness. And by the way, for those of you who don't get that reference, that's just because I'm old.
You guys, if you are too young to know Austin Powers, watch Austin Powers. It holds up. You won't regret it.
So it's basically called the layer. The elimination. It's not the gauntlet. It's the layer.
The layer.
Not the proving ground, Pam. It's the layer.
It's the layer. And I have to give them kudos. We haven't seen this elimination before. Exactly.
Pam, again, why this episode rocked. This elimination is awesome. It's a take on King of the Mountain, Queen of the Mountain, whatever you want to call it. But they tied them. They tied their asses together, and it's awesome. Yes. And it's called Back Me Up. Great name for it as well.
Yep. Worked perfectly. It's like, come on, guys. And they did. So thank you, producers. Step it up. Like last season, was there any new eliminations?
Go to your layer. Go to your layer and come up with some new eliminations, God damn it.
Yes. For TJ's game. Like he's the guy in Saw locking people in rooms. Right.
Let's get to the twist. We've waited all episode to get to this twist. TJ gives us an amazing twist. I'm sure he came up with this himself, by the way, right, Pam?
Of course, it's TJ's elimination.
Of course, he came up with this. TJ lets everybody know that basically whoever wins and is sitting up there as the agency, they can literally pick any guy and any girl, whoever the F they want, to go into the elimination with whoever the house voted for.
Yep.
That is going to mix up things to the umpteenth degree. He also did not mention that there's gold, orange, purple skulls this year, which I'm pumped about. Maybe they'll come into play, but I think they should have already mentioned that. So I don't think there will be any.
They never meant anything anyway. Like, it was so dumb.
When they sat in their lair, the producers, they also realized that, and they're like,
these skulls don't even
didn't matter. Everyone got a chance, Pam. Everyone got a chance.
Right. Everyone got a chance. Like, it doesn't matter. So,
so this is why it's going to mix it up. Basically, the rookies are going to want to keep the rookies, and the veterans are going to want to keep the veterans. And the majority of the teams right now are rookies and veterans. So when they get in there, the rookie's going to want to vote for a veteran, and the veteran's going to want to vote for a rookie. And I don't know what's going to happen when they don't agree. And that's what's going to be exciting. I believe it'll happen. How could it not? Unless these teammates are really best buds, it's going to. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if they can make that decision together.
The only thing that scares me.
Yeah.
Two things that scare me.
Yeah.
One is the rookies even though they're rookies, they don't know each other. They're likely to become closer with their partner and their partner's friends than all the other. So I feel like you start working in partners, even if that's stupid. Yeah. Even though also the way this vote goes, you start hanging, like Nani became Team Big Brother because she was Josh's partner and she was hanging out with Fessy and Casey.
Yeah,
and
I know. Right.
Even though, so like, I think that's going to have a lot to do with it. The other thing that scares me is that Devin said dominant in his, which
Okay.
leads me to believe that there's going to be one strong thing pushing the moves.
Well, let's say this: 1 point for team veteran because 2 rookies just went home.
So far, it looks
They
like
just gained gained 2 people in there. What they're I don't know what the numbers are. I could go through it, but I mean,
Well, if Emmy, I think, is actually smart, because if they're going to pick off rookies, get aligned with some B, have them owe you one. Have Tori and Anissa think you're their girl. They can trust you.
Yeah.
That's really smart. That's why I'm saying just being a backstabber like Tommy is just gross. It wasn't impressive.
Yeah. So let's get into who picked who here. Anissa goes first. Her and Logan are up there. Anissa goes first. And Anissa picks Corey L because that's originally who they were going to go after, Corey L and Emmy. Corey L has nothing to do with that list, by the way.
Nothing at all.
And at first, I am actually upset with
Me too.
Anissa. I think it's a pussy move. I think it's a wuss move, whatever you want to call it.
At first, I agree. At first, that's how I felt.
But now I also feel like that is the best thing that could have happened to Corey L in episode 1. Not only did he get to prove himself, but he got to pick whoever the hell he wanted. And it all turned out. So now I think Corey L needs to go thank Anissa, say, hey, it sucks you did this to me, but I am in such a better spot now because I was on an all rookie team with Emmy. And yeah, Emmy seems like, okay, maybe she can play the game, but she's a rookie.
100% agree with you. You nailed it. And also at that point, I was pissed in the beginning because it's like, what did this poor guy do? Leave him alone.
Right.
But then it's like they were thrown a curveball and probably had 30 seconds to deliberate. And it's like we were already prepared to put him in. He's a rookie. The only problem was that Logan felt bad because he and Emmy are friends.
And that's fine. And that's why
it's great. We already agreed he's going in.
But notice Logan made an okay move because he also picked a rookie. So he didn't piss off any vets, including his partner. But I think a lot of the rookies were very excited about Michelle because they think she's going to be a very strong player because she won Survivor. And let's do that. Who were you rooting for? Were you rooting for Michaela and Renan? This is going to be hard for you. Or Corey and Michelle? Because I was rooting for Corey and Michelle.
I was rooting for Michaela. Let's see, not even say Renan.
You can't even say Renan. You can't even say Renan's name. I'm telling you, this dude was a dud.
He was a dud. But at this point, too, this is where I'm sorry to be like, I don't like spoilers. But I mean, literally, as soon as it was the votes were in, I knew that Michaela was going to lose because I had seen so much of Michelle in the future episodes.
Yeah, I honestly think, but it's also the first episode. So what do we really? I mean, we got what one elimination kind of ruined for us, but it's so early on. I really don't think that.
But also they were setting her up for for a hookup, and we see her we see her in future episodes.
Right. So it was in a way it was ruined, but I was still super excited to see how it would go down. It didn't bother me that I think I knew who was going to win. It's too early on anyways. You're just trying to, at this point, I'm just trying to get down the rules of the game and who's partnered with who and who are these new guys and what show were they on before. So
yeah,
I'm okay. I don't think throughout the whole season, the spoilers they gave us in that Monday episode are going to affect us knowing who gets really far.
I don't again want to be so precious about this.
Yeah.
It's annoying me. I'm annoying myself. It's too much. However, and I super enjoyed what?
Your pupper's next to you.
Oh, hi, Carter.
Carter.
Yes, a little puppy, and my cat's scratching at the door, but we'll get the cat later. Yeah, hi, Carter. Hi, puppy.
So, perfect positioning. Stay there, Carter. You're doing great.
Yeah, stay there. So I still enjoyed it. It didn't ruin the episode for me or anything, but I would prefer not to have known that. It would have been a little more tense. I get that some people, I have friends that don't mind spoilers. That does not take away from their enjoyment from something.
If I know who wins, I'll still watch and enjoy whatever, but it doesn't hit the same as the excitement level as not knowing. And I love that I don't know that.
Even with a movie, a competition show, it's even worse, but because you still want to see the drama and who played. Luke will watch football games
Luke
after
is their
that.
fiance for all
My
those
fiance. He'll watch football games after because he's like, for him, it's drama. Like, this is for us. He's like, he still wants to see how everyone performed.
And even if he knows the final.
Even if he knows already, because I'm like, what's the point of recording football? And he's like, if I miss it, I still like to watch the game, even if I know the
Yeah,
score.
it's, some of the highlights could be good. Some of the certain plays or the a run down the field of downs and stuff that could be nice. A drive, as they call it in the NFL.
Oh, okay. Well, look at you, football guy.
Please. Yeah. So this was all great. Now we
So,
get
yes, happy for
Corey.
Corey L that it all worked out.
He
Also,
performed amazingly. I was a little confused about the rules. They could push or pull. Like, how do we know? What if they both tried to throw each other off the same side? I was kind of confused by it all, but whatever. Did they have to bring them? They had to bring them to the opposite side. It didn't matter how they got off. So if they started with their back a certain, but then weren't the guys on the same side and the girls on the same side?
I was a little unclear about that, but I think they had sides. If you got pushed off X side or Z side, you win. If you get pushed off the other side, like this was your side and this was their side. So
did they set it up where the guy and the girl were next to each other, like on the same team though?
Yes.
I want to say yes. They had to get them to the opposite side, so no matter how. Because Corey ended up just pulling them down with his feet forward. So very impressed.
I think it's their side. Like if you take them over their side, you win.
Right.
What were you gonna say? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you were gonna say something.
No, it can come. What we can move on from Coriel. I'm glad that happened.
Well, I just wanted that's all I had for the elimination. I thought that Renan was again he was a dud. He was a blob. He sat there. He had his arm in a sling after, so he must have dislocated something. He'll use that as an excuse of why he didn't perform well. But I bet that happened at the end of the damn thing. I don't know. And then Michaela was the true champion for her team. I thought that she on her stomach, just holding as much as she could, but she's not going to hold back Corey. And
RIP Michaela in this game because I really wanted to see more of her. She again was my favorite this whole episode.
As I like to do, Pam, do you believe we will see Michaela or Renan on a future season of the challenge?
Michaela, hopefully. Yeah. I think that was a missed opportunity.
I will give you this. I will say there's I'll be nice. I'll say there's a 33% chance, and that is high, that we see Michaela again. And I will say there's a 1% chance, because as Justin Bieber says, never say never, that Renan is back. But
I don't think I'm going with you on the very low percentage. If I were a betting man, I would say no to that. For her, I would say there's a 50-50 chance.
You go out that high, yeah.
An impression, and she's got good person. Like she was one of the people that was constantly being in the, she's got personality.
At least she's known for something, even though it's something dumb like a list that can still be brought back on. But then again, this season is going to last like 4 months, and I think by the end of the 4 months, you might be the only one remembering who the hell Michaela was on the first episode. Let's be real.
To live in my heart, Michaela.
Will, her and Clara apparently are going to live there.
I did really enjoy her, and I'm super bummed to see her go. But moving on to the new partners.
Well, let's talk about this first. So yeah, what happened to Nam? That's the first information we get. We tried looking it up briefly. I couldn't find anything. I'm sure it's there, but we wanted to get on this podcast on. Tell us in the comment section what happened to Nam. We know last season his back wasn't the issue. Was it his back again?
I'm guessing it was. That would be my guess. If I had to, I don't think he got injured like the first 10 minutes.
I mean, I don't want to say it was a mental health thing, but maybe it was. He did mention in the Monday episode that he was like, there was so much going on. Remember he talked to Gabo real quick while they were eating, and Gabo was like, I'm just here to go to have drinks. Maybe something mental health. He couldn't handle the house. It was too much, but it was so early on.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Yet. So I'm not sure how, who knows when mental
health.
He was
just trying to talk game with a dummy, and it came out funny. I mean, I don't think
possibly
he was like, crying.
Yeah, let us know if you know what happened to Nam. We get this new guy, Ed, who comes flying in like I'm supposed to know who he is. I do.
So I'm so excited. So you didn't watch The Circle.
After you and Jenna talked about how awesome The Circle was, I tried to sit down and watch it, and I stopped after the first episode was like 2 hours freaking long. I made it through an hour and a half. I'm like, I can't deal with them not being in the same room. I'm done.
It is very good. What I like to call cleaning the house TV or background, like if you're doing work on your computer, like you don't need to catch every beat of this.
Well, that was the issue. It was just too much. I'm like, there's nothing. There was one guy I liked.
A passive watch.
Who was which? I don't even know what. Wait, I don't even know what season I watched. I watched some season with this bro named Joey, who I actually just met recently at an event, and I watched. Is it not Joey?
Oh, Joey, was he the winner of his season?
That's correct. So what season did I watch?
That was the first season. This
okay,
was
and then it was
second,
also some nerdy kid. I didn't meet him, but I liked him.
Oh yeah, he was
he wasn't American, or he was
Sanaa. I don't want to get his name wrong, but he was very sweet.
His family is from. Well,
he might have won, and Joe came in second. One of those
won?
two.
Oh, I don't. We're giving spoilers out for the show. I never watched season. I don't know. Joey won season 1 because when I did my event with him, he was on the cast list for celebrities, and I had to take pictures of everybody. And he came to me, and we had a nice conversation. And it said below his name, winner of US season 1 of The Circle. That was Joey. Which, by the way, that character he put on, the dude was so down to earth. He was not this big Jersey Shore type guy that I saw on the first episode. So I was like, dude, this guy's chill. But hey, he plays a great character like reality TV stars too.
He was sweet though. I mean, I remember being happy that he won.
But the other nerdy guy I liked, I think he was American. His family was probably first generation here. I was getting that vibe that he,
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely he's not first generation American. His name and his.
Well, he might be first generation American, and that's what I mean. Yeah, like he's like.
I would even say I think he said his parents, don't like. I don't know, but
anyway, I liked him a lot too.
He was very sweet, and he came close to winning. Again, my point is, it can be a passive watch.
Is Ed on season 2? Was Ed on season 2?
So, who? Ed. So listen, do you remember the guy and his mom that were like playing as a team?
Okay, so this was season 2. This is season 2.
Oh, season 1 that you watched. There was a guy, and he was like, "My mom's here to help." Blah blah blah. He was like.
Did he come in later? Because I only watched the first. Yeah, I didn't watch. Yeah, so that's
later.
It.
Okay, so the guy, what's his Eric?
Ed
was the mother and brother's other brother. This mother and guy's. Anyway, he was very sweet and fun. Okay. And unfortunately, I think he might have come in a little later too, which is a huge disadvantage at the Circle. Okay. So. He got eliminated, but they didn't want to let him go. So him and another eliminated person came back as a fake character.
All right, they're gonna blast us. They're gonna blast us in the comment section. We're talking about the Circle for 10 minutes. It's over.
Okay. Sorry, but Ed was really fun and cute, by the way.
Well, he came in like the only place. I don't know if anyone even knew who he was, but apparently maybe they did. Here are our new teams, and I give big props to Michelle because Michelle and Corey won, so they get to choose either new partners, stay together, or go with their old partner.
Or take any other partner. Anyone.
Choices.
They could choose anyone, basically, except
3 choices, yeah. They both decide to get new partners. She chooses Devin. I am so about this team now. I'm pumped because you know how much I love Devin. I know he's not the strongest. I know Michelle's not the strongest. But she's a survivor. Wink, wink. So whatever. Yeah, I like it.
Agreed that they will do well until they don't, when you have to be really good at physical stuff. But I think that they will do well for now. Ed also, I didn't recognize until they said the Circle because he never had a shirt on ever, like during one episode of the Circle. And his hair grew longer since then. And he's super duper buff, which you couldn't really tell but he's like, very physical, like physically capable. It looks like he spent all his time working out, like he, in the Circle room, he was just like doing pull-ups on the thing. And so I know he's not unathletic. So I think that, so he got paired with who?
Ed is with Emmy, who you like.
And I was like all about that team too. Yeah. The new teams that came out of this, I think, super cool.
I think Kels and Tracy, I don't know anything about Tracy yet. Hey, black hair. Tracy, black hair. I don't know anything about her. And then Tori and Corey L. I think Corey got to pick Tori.
Right.
I'm all about that team too because I like Corey a lot now. I think he showed a lot of heart in that first round, and obviously Tori's a fan favorite and one of our challenge after show favorites. And those are all the new teams that are now with us.
I super love Corey. Like, I think I have a crush on her for real. The way Nani like doesn't think she's gay, but she likes Casey. I think I would like love Tori.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I won't talk about the previews for next.
Nope, I didn't watch. I don't. We can. I can earplug. You can cut me off.
Can you earplug just so I can say one thing to people at home?
Yeah.
From what I saw. Amber B and Kells are hooking up. So Amber B definitely back. And apparently I think I saw her with Kells. Let us know in the comment section. Okay, Pam. Pam, you're good.
Done? Okay.
Yeah. That is my 3 pages of notes.
Well,
we gotta do our predictions, Pam.
Okay.
Yes.
I predict.
Okay, now we shouldn't predict teams because we don't know who's gonna end up with who. I think we should choose 2 vets, guy and girl, 2 rookies, guy and girl. Doesn't matter who they're with, or just that they could have a possibility of winning.
So, okay, strategically now taking into consideration, so our 2 rookie teams now are Kells and Tracy and Emmy and Eric. Ed. I don't know why I keep wanting to call him
called
Eric.
him every name but his name. It's hilarious.
I know. Well, okay. So I feel like Tracy and Ed, unfortunately, are not going to be long for this world unless they make some good game moves.
Maybe I'll really like Ed, but I know nothing about the guy. So but
rookies wise, I think Emmy, Kells, I hope, Corey L, and Berna. Those are who I see going.
So I'll jump on board with you with Corey L and Berna as some rookies. I feel like I don't know anything about Emmy yet. I don't know if she has endurance. I don't know if she's good at puzzles. With Corey L, I could say, dude, the dude is strong. He clearly has a lot of heart. He has a lot of endurance. We saw it tonight. Berna, like I said before, circus performer, probably has a lot of endurance. You know, all this stuff. So, but I can't say that about Emmy. And I also like Michelle now, but that's just because she's with Devin. So I'm going to throw those names in there as possible winners. And then CT. That's all I got.
And CT, Tori, you know, the usuals that go far. I think, you know, I don't, blah, blah, blah. Who cares?
You don't want to put your money, finally, you don't want to put your monty on a Corey or a Nelson, finally, for the Young Bucks pulling through for a final win. No?
I would love it, but I don't necessarily think
it. That's okay. I don't see it. I don't see it either.
So
okay. I'm going through everybody right now. I don't.
Oh, Emmy. Okay, about Emmy. Yeah. I think we saw a major game move from her tonight as aligning herself as loyal to Anissa and Tori over a rookie. And I think that is really going to help her. She seems to be friends with a lot of the new people, rookies, and she's smart. She's endearing herself to because she knows she's on a rookie team. She's going to have to make those want to vote her in.
When push comes to shove, Anissa and Tori have an amazing podcast together. So Emmy's out in that trio.
But Ed, it's like if you don't have to pick the same guy and girl, I feel like the next people voted in are going to be Ed and, unless they win, Tracy. Because who are they? Like, I honestly think they're going to be the next.
Fair enough. But I just wanted you to pick like a couple people you think. But we got them. We got Corey L, Emmy, you said Berna, CT.
Yeah, as for the
I also will give some props. I'll still give props to Esther because she's with Fessy. So I think that Fessy and her could go far together for a little while and maybe not have any issues. So I think that Esther, and even though I know Fessy is messy, whatever, but I do think that's a strong team. So maybe they won't get split up for a while or have to go into an elimination for a while. However, you're right. about maybe Emmy, because I'm not allowed to say what I know about Emmy. Never mind.
Don't say it.
I
But
learned something about
also,
Emmy just seeing it now in a preview.
also, Fessy, dare I say he's learned anything, was nice. He's like, when they were running, he's like, whoa, I had to keep the pace with her. Like,
I think that there could be something there for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. Again,
Tell us in the comments below if you think a certain team will make it to the finals together, or just who you think will make it to a final and possibly win. We'd love to hear from you. And please don't be a jackass and give us spoilers. Like, just let us watch and enjoy the show that we love to talk about. Please. Thank you.
If I had to pick 2 teams currently that I think would make it to the final,
yes,
will be my prediction. It would be Tori and Coriel and Berna and CT.
Tori, I mean, just because of recency bias, you want to throw Coriel in there, and you said CT and Berna.
Well, now I know what he can do, and now he's partnered with Tori, so he's not on a rookie team.
So this is what I did. Before we got to the end and we found out the new things, just after all the teams were announced, I put squares around 3 teams that I thought could make it to the finals together when I thought that they had to be together the whole time. And I put my squares around Berna and CT, Esther and Fessy, and Emmanuel and Casey. I don't know why. I'm thinking some redemption season for Casey. She's obviously,
Yep.
I honestly think that Nani is going to bring out something in her that might make her a little more entertaining to watch. And I also think that's going to drive her love of Nani will drive her to perform well and maybe win. And Emmanuel, he just seems like a nut job. And nut jobs prove, if given the right amount of whatever, that they can, the right spark, I should say, Pam, they can turn into a fire and win something or do something well.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. And hold on, now I forgot again. Oh, put this in the comments because I'm truly curious and I don't know if you guys know. Is Casey still salty to Fessy? Because I would be. Or is it back to like Big Brother Alliance? Like, does Casey, if he treated
just because the way he treated her losing?
I mean, her injury.
Her injury.
Like,
well, I know. Yeah.
And how he acted when she was like eating and limping. Like,
right.
I would be like, this guy's a punk. He's
that was a great chat, Pam.
Yeah.
A great first episode of Spies, Lies, and Allies. Episode 1, the list. And be sure to tune into our Patreon because we're about to talk about All-Star Season 2 cast, which also looks pretty damn fantastic. And we're also going to talk about who we wish was on it and who we're excited to see.
Yep.
Those are the big things. We will see you next week. And if you want to watch our Patreon episode, hop on over there. That's going to be up there in a couple hours. So, and it's
$1 a month. $1. It's probably 25, what you have. You probably have a few months in like a jar in your house for laundry. Like,
yeah, 25 cents an episode. That's right.
Yeah, 25 cents an episode. That's right.
All right. We'll see y'all next week for episode 2 of the challenge, Spies, Lies, and Allies, season 37. Bye, Carter.